All right, a very good morning, everybody, from the ATC scopes. Welcome aboard. It's Captain Nabs here with you once again for another uh, ATC session. Today we got Montreal Center tuned in. I'm a little bit later than I wanted to get started here. As I was trying to get it started, it basically did not want to work for me, if you can believe that. But it seems to be the constant the constant issue I have here. All right, just doing a quick little audio check there, and it does seem to work. Yeah, it I guess I haven't controlled Montreal on this computer, so I thought I'd pull up the tower view here. It looks a little cloudy down there in Montreal, but but yeah, we're gonna try and get this going here. And I've got the wrong title up there. I just noticed it said "Cross the Pond" at the top. I'm sorry, guys. Like I've been struggling to try and get this Montreal sector properly updated here, and it took me it took me the last 30 minutes to get it done. I thought it was up to date. Turns out it was not. It was not even close to up to date. So give me a moment here while we just quickly. Yeah, we're gonna have to open some stuff here. We have not. I have not configured this computer to run Montreal yet. So I have configured. Oops. I have configured most of the other sector files, but I guess I have not yet run Montreal on this computer with my sims. So that's why it's kind of a little bit chaotic, and you'll have to give me a second here while I just sort of get organized here and get an ATIS up and running, see who's around here in Montreal today. All right, that looks fine. All right, 320 at 7, kind of splitting the difference. I'm going to assume that Montreal would go with a 2-4 configuration. So we'll do arrivals 2-4 right, departures 2-4 left, and then we can set up information alpha here. And yeah, I realize that I have even this version of Euroscope I think is quite out of date, unfortunately. I did not even realize that my Euroscope is so far out of date that it needs a little update here. So we're gonna set that aside. I'm going to set that aside to do later on today. There we go. All right, so we'll get that installed later today because it's not quite set up properly, but I think it should manage to run here. In the meantime, let's just get the other thing I was going to do, because we're configured now, we know that we're going to be operating the Montreal terminal in a west flow. So we'll get that up, and of course we'll get up the Montreal ground view, and then we'll have a quick look around and see who's actually in our airspace here. So it takes a little while sometimes to get set up here. To kind of get ourselves set up and organized and ready to go here. So there we go. All right. All right. So we got one guy on the ground here. I don't see a flight plan for him. Does he have a flight plan? He does. So why am I not seeing it? I'm going to guess that there's some kind of an error with my software here, because I don't see him in the departure list for some reason. And oftentimes when there's errors with this sort of thing, it's because something is still not configured properly here. Oh. Oh. I know why I don't see him, because he's an arrival. He departed Halifax and he's arrived in Montreal. That's why. And you know what I also realize, of course, Tower View won't do any good if I don't actually get the airplanes going in Tower View here. So give me 1 second here. That should bring up an airplane down there at the end of the terminal in a second. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. It's generic, but it works. C series. That's why, because yeah, we probably don't have any good models of C series yet. So there you go. But all right, so we got. Seems like we got most of this stuff up and running here. I think I've got my track IR running, and I don't think that is going to help anybody here. All right, so let's just get rid of track IR for a little bit here because it's not doing anybody any good, and I think it's actually causing me a problem here that I cannot switch windows or switch views here. And it does not seem to want to let me run it here. I'm going to try one more time to bring this up. There it is. There we go. All right, so we got a couple of airplanes in our airspace, so let's see if we can get a hold of any of them here. Montreal is a pretty big block of airspace, so sometimes trying to get a hold of people in it, and of course we got more text pilots than non-text pilots at this point, but anyways, hopefully we'll get a little bit of traffic going on here if we are here for a little bit of time on the VATSIM network. So we're just trying to get a bunch of stuff started here, make sure I know what's going on. We do have Boston Center online, so that's a good short flight for a lot of people from Boston to Toronto, or Boston to Montreal and back. So hopefully that'll encourage at least a few people here and there. All right, and let's just pull this up here and just make sure that the stream's looking good there. Yep, there we go. All right, so welcome aboard, everybody. It's kind of quiet right now. I'm trying to get a hold of these airplanes.
Montreal Center, good afternoon. Speedbird 26 Echo, flight level 400.
Speedbird 26 Echo, Montreal Center, good morning. Squawk code 0357.
Squawk 0357, Speedbird 26 Echo.
And what I realize, of course, as always, is that I have forgotten to bring up my camera, my webcam. There I am. Everybody, welcome to the stream. Hopefully, if we sit here for a little bit of time, we'll get some traffic online. It's a little bit early in the day. Speedbird 26 Echo Heavy Montreal, your identified flight level 400. Welcome. Pardon me. I'm going to have to tweak some settings here because obviously I have not played with this very much. There we go. And what I should probably also do, because I also find it's a problem with Montreal Center, is I should make sure I have all of my radio towers up. Because it's a lot of transmitters, but it improves the reception. All right, so Delta 85 Papa Mike just sent me a message. See if he responds here on text. We've got another one here, Air Canada 1238, also a text pilot heading into Toronto. It's the trouble with daytime flying. I find you tend to have more text pilots during the day. It's a little bit, the network's a little bit quieter, so it's a little bit easier for a text-only pilot to sort of get by in the network. But I do find you tend to get a few more. I'm just going to adjust my webcam down just a little bit here because I feel like it's just aimed just a little bit too high. Of course, now I've got to adjust the cropping, but let's see here. Because the top of my head is so attractive, everybody needs to see it. There we go. All right, but yeah, so we've got one airplane. Trying to get the second one on text. And yeah, it's such a large airspace from top to bottom. Here's my ruler. So from top to bottom, this airspace is 1,192 miles. It's essentially 1,200 miles from top to bottom. Across the maximum width, it's as much as 1,000 miles across as well. So it could be a long time for people to get across it. You can get a lot of overflights, especially in the northern portion of Montreal. There are a smattering of small, isolated settlements with airports in the northern part of Quebec, but they are pretty scattered. So you don't get a whole lot of traffic to and from those areas. Uh, what you do get is but yeah, what you do get is you get a lot of overflight traffic, especially kind of midday, which oftentimes people are text only because they're away, so they like to have a better way of kind of knowing what's going on, being able to get kind of pinged when someone's calling them. So yeah, you tend to end up with a lot of overflight traffic in Montreal. There is a fair amount of traffic that comes in and out of the Montreal sector itself. So like this southern like 200 miles ends up being very dense and very busy, and that's why I kind of have two views. I usually have one where it's kind of an overview of the whole FIR, and then I have a second one that's much more zoomed in here to cover primarily uh, the Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec corridor, which is kind of the busiest airspace within the Montreal FIR. And this is even fairly zoomed out for me. I've got it right now because I kind of want to see what's going on in the Sept-Îles area up here. But and this guy's not having any luck getting his radios to work here. So let's see if I can find out something about him here. Yeah, okay, no. All right. Well, anyways, I'm just going to communicate with him via private chat because he can't seem to get to hold of me on the frequency text. So too bad. At least if I can get a hold of him and communicate with him, that's a step in the right direction. And hopefully, if we are here for a little while, we do have. Let's see here. We got one inbound to Montreal from the southwest coming through Boston Center, so that's good. He'll get handed off by Boston. This might be him right even down here, squawking 9999. That might be him right there, inbound to Montreal. So he'll be inbound in a little bit. Um, yeah, and then we got this Air Canada guy also inbound. All right, he's got the right squawk code in there. 0367 is in there, good. Let's see, Walker. Where's Walker going? Walker is going to CYGW, which I am not even sure. This is one of the more remote. It might be like Legrand. Um, and remote is always a relative term in the Montreal area, in the Montreal FIR. Uh, let's see here. Let me bring up my Navigraph charts here quickly, and CYGW. No, CYGW is Kujarapik. Kujarapik. Uh, let's see here. Probably a gravel strip. Yeah, 5,000 foot gravel strip. So Walker 1104 is inbound there in his Challenger. But we will get to talk to him. We will get to do an IFR arrival. That being said, that area is mostly uncontrolled. Let me try another. Let me dig up some more information here. So now I'm going to dig up some digital charts here on flightplan.com because I am 99% sure that that is going to be a uncontrolled arrival anyways once he gets below flight level 180. But let's have a look. We'll see where he is right now. Yeah, because basically most of the FIR north of let's see, north of Val d'Or down to Montreal, Quebec, Bagotville, and off to Sept-Îles is all uncontrolled at low level. That's not strictly true. There's also a couple of controlled airways up to Wabush. So this area here is controlled in the low level. Everything else, with the exception of Iqaluit, is uncontrolled at the low level. So we'll just simply clear him out of controlled airspace. But he will be passing through our airspace at 350, so we will talk to him briefly at least. Guess we should hand this guy off to Boston. He is going to pass through at least a corner of Boston's airspace there. Speedbird 26 Echo Heavy, contact Boston Center now, 134.7. G'day.
On to Boston now, 34.7. Speedbird 26 Echo Heavy, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And while I'm at it, I'm going to ping this Air Canada over here, the Air Canada 1238. Because he's beginning to approach my airspace. See, and this is another one of those confusing things because the airspace is so three-dimensional. This kind of quadrant of airspace out here, Montreal only controls the low level. Moncton Gander controls the high level airspace here. So technically he's not in my airspace yet. If he was down at a low level, he would be. That being said, of course, Gander Moncton's not online right now, so we may just end up taking control of this aircraft a little early. I may even try to get a hold of these guys, going over the Virgin and the... not even going to worry too much about the Virgin, because he's just going to pass through quarter of my airspace and then go back over to Boston, so I'm not too worried about that. Speedbird 295, yeah, we'll need to talk to him at some point. Walker 1104, Speedbird 295, make sure these guys all have a unique squawk code here, so that we're ready to go when they call. And yeah, so I do have a tower view up for those of you that are paying attention here. This is a freeware scenery, actually. So this is the Montreal Trudeau Tower, but it is a freeware version of the scenery. So I found this on flightsim.to. Honestly, it's a pretty good model. The building itself is really quite good. It's almost, I don't want to say surprisingly good, but it really is quite good if you have a look down.
Center, Canada 1238 AV, with you, flight level 380.
Air Canada 1238 Montreal, bon matin, squawk code 0370. Every time nobody responds to me, I check my mic to make sure it's not muted. Air Canada 1238 bon matin, squawk 0370.
0370, and sorry for the delay, by the way, of responding to you.
Air Canada 1238, no problem. You are only about a minute or so, so no big deal. You are identified, flight level 380. Welcome.
Continue on course 380, Air Canada 1238. I was planning runway 06 left, by the way, at Montreal.
And Air Canada 1238, yeah, right now the winds are kind of splitting the difference, so we're actually arriving runway 24 right if you got enough time to set that one up.
24 right, Air Canada 1238.
Merci. All right, Boston wants to know if Skyways 2227's route is okay here, so Q955 MIG-low. Wants to know if you should put him on the star. I said, yep, put him on the star if you can. If he and then if he doesn't have the star, not to worry because it's pretty quiet today, so I'm not too worried if he doesn't have It doesn't actually have the star. I can give him a vector. It's not really that. It's not going to be that tough because, yeah, like I said, I've got. I don't have a whole lot of traffic here. Let's ping the Speedbird here, and let's ping the Walker while we're at it because he's getting close here. I can give him the Kujuarapic. All right. So we got So as I was saying, I do have scenery here. This is the Montreal CYUL freeware scenery that's available on FlightSim.to. And like I said, like I am pretty overall impressed with this. For freeware scenery, this guy has done a pretty good job. I believe his handle is 514, which is the Montreal area code. And it looks a little odd with the snow textures. The roads all disappear under the snow textures, so it looks a little bit odd.
295, flight level 400.
Speedbird 295, Montreal Center, good morning. Squawk code 0371.
0371, Speedbird 295.
But the buildings themselves are really quite good. Like this is the right kind of texture and look for the airport terminal itself. Now the only thing, of course, is this is all glass and it's not transparent. Not as many vehicles as would be in the real world. But like overall, the impact is really quite good. You've got these little decals, like the Marriott decal there. You've got advertising on the bridge. You've got various bridges around the whole parking lot area. Speedbird 295 Montreal. Thank you. Identified flight level 400.
Flight level 400 to 295.
Yeah, overall, it's the effect is pretty good. It's not perfect. It's not like a really, really highly detailed scenery, but for a freeware scenery, it's definitely very good. The ground texturing here in winter is a little bit odd. It's not quite as good as it could be. But the building itself, the building itself is modeled very well, and the texturing is applied really quite nicely. Like even on these bridges here, you can see the if I can zoom in here, the HSBC logo on the various bridge lead ups here. Overall, fairly well done. And certainly, like I said, for freeware, you can't complain. Even you look way over in the distance at the Air Canada hangar, and it's a complicated hangar. It's got like external framing so that there's no interior support pillars, and it all looks overall pretty good. The scenery's a little bit basic, but it definitely has gone above and beyond the most basic level. Like there's some custom texturing, there's definitely some custom modeling going on. Overall, not bad. I don't mind flying into this airport with the scenery. It's not perfect. It's not high-end Fly Tampa payware developer scenery, but it's really quite good for freeware scenery, and I'm happy to kind of use it and fly with it. If anybody did even something similar to this in Toronto, I'd be happy to use it at this time, because right now Toronto is it's abysmal, and I'm not going to be live streaming Toronto all that much with Tower View because it's just abysmal. And it looks like our one airplane that was on the ground there that arrived from Halifax is gone. Nobody else is left on the ground. And so we're just sitting here staring at a couple of airborne airplanes. Where's Turkish going? Turkish is also going to Boston, so he's going through that airspace, yeah. Perennial favorite, Boston. Never stop flying to Boston. A lot of these Canadian airports do not get the love anymore. And Toronto used to be way up there, and it's just it's not even the quality of controlling, but just simply the amount of time people are online in the Toronto area. It's just not as much as it used to be. It's not a dependable destination like it used to be, a year or two ago. And it's really kind of sad that it's fallen by the wayside because it was right up there, I think, with Boston in terms of being a very popular. And looks like he amended the flight plan, Watertown, and the Impact 3. Perfect. A very popular destination, origin destination, a very popular place to fly in VATSIM, and Toronto's really fallen by the wayside. It's not nearly as popular as it used to be. Oh, it looks like the Walker, as soon as I pinged him, he just decided to log off. He didn't want to talk to me. All he had to do was talk to me for the descent. It wasn't even going to be that much time, honestly. Oh well. But yeah, I've got a little bit of time this morning. This will probably be the last chance. This is also kind of just a last chance to stream this weekend or this week because starting tomorrow, I'm working night shifts, so nights are going to be completely full and basically impossible for me to stream for the foreseeable future. So it was kind of a now or never, do it today or don't do it this week kind of thing. So, and for those of you that are paying attention to my channel, I also dropped last week's epic stream onto my YouTube channel now. So for those that want to go back and watch that, relive those glory days, it was a very good stream, I have to say. Like I did 3 hours. It was kind of a mid to late afternoon stream, which is like just about the perfect time to be on VATSIM. Late afternoon into early evening, just the perfect time to be on VATSIM. If people see a controller online, they will fly. There's plenty of people logging in, looking at the network, saying. And I'm sorry, who's level 360?
Vision 1 34 bin late. Not in the cockpit.
Virgin 2128. Okay, yeah, I see you there at flight level 360. You're inbound to tops, you said? Virgin 2128 Montreal, just confirm you're inbound to tops.
Can you repeat, please? Virgin 28.
Virgin 2128. Are you? Is your next waypoint tops?
Yeah, our next waypoint is tops. Virgin 28.
All right. Since he called me, I'll just. All right, Virgin 2128, stand by. One moment, I'll get back. I'll get back to the squawk code here. See if I sort it, reverse sort it here. Virgin 2128, squawk code 0350.
From 0350 is in 28.
All right. I wasn't going to make a big deal out of trying to call him, but since he called me, I'll talk to him. He's technically a Moncton airspace. He's never going to actually enter my airspace, but because Boston's online as well, I might as well just provide some ATC. I can see what's going on around him. Virgin 2128 Montreal, thank you. You're identified. Flight level 360. Welcome.
Montreal, bonjour. Skyways 2227 with you, flight level 280.
Skyways 2227 Montreal, bonjour. Runway 24 right Montreal, information is Alpha. And when ready, descend 8,000, altimeter 29er, 9er tree.
Landing runway 24 right, information Alpha, Montreal, altimeter 29993, descend maintain 8,000, Skyways 2227.
Roger. Kind of want to add. Yeah, it should be there. I just need to add it. Star and runway. Kind of makes it a little bit wide, but it's good because then it forces in the arrival, and more importantly, when I look at it on the screen, it draws the correct transition for his arrival, which I can see the arrival anyways, but it's nice to see the transition as well. All right, so we'll have one arrival. We'll have another arrival in another half an hour. Let's see, what's the timing here on Air Canada 1238? He's about 45 minutes from landing. About another 5-10 minutes, we'll get him his descent clearance. So, all right, if anybody has any questions about ATC, especially ATC in Montreal, or just in general, please feel free to ask. I'm thinking about adding a few new videos now to my channel. I haven't added any videos that weren't live streams for a while, mostly due to just being so busy. I did not have any time to dedicate anything external to this, but external to. But I kept the live streams going just to kind of keep everybody, keep the channel going, to keep the channel alive, and people seem to like it, and I enjoy it. Like I enjoy going and logging on to VATSIM and just controlling for a while. And if I get to do live streaming at the same time, to share a little bit of what I enjoy, then more fun for me and everybody else who gets to watch as well. Um, but as I said, like I'm thinking of putting out another video. I'm thinking of tackling kind of what model matching is and how to set it up for Microsoft Flight Simulator because it's kind of the simulator right now. Um, that being said, of course, X-Plane 12. Who knows what X-Plane 12 is going to do? And for the serious simmers, X-Plane 12 may be a bit of a bit of an option. But right now, Microsoft Flight Simulator is kind of the dominant flight simulator. So, I have noticed that I have been kind of watching the stat. I do watch the stats, and the most popular videos on my channel right now are my two VATSIM introduction tutorials. Really, by far, the most popular videos on my channel for a while now. So I'm thinking about trying to expand that. Um, Trying to expand that playlist a little bit, if you will, to try and put together a few more videos, sort of how to fly on VATSIM. So my first thought was something that because I struggled with this a little while ago was setting up model matching. Model matching's a bit of a pain in the rear end to set up, but once you get it set up, it's totally worth it. It's partly because of the way the system the models are cataloged in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's not great for kind of scanning through and finding out what's going on. So it's not the best system in the world, but there's definitely ways around it. So there's some software that you can use, and probably for me setting up model matching, I probably put in about 30 to 40 minutes initially, kind of figuring out and setting up the downloads for my Alpha India group AI traffic, and then I probably spent about an hour, give or take, going through the list of models and making sure that everything was matched correctly. And it sounds like a lot of time. It's a tedious job, but I'll throw this out there for anybody that flies on VATSIM a lot. Very often you've got time in cruise where you're kind of not doing a whole lot, and you can kind of distract yourself for a period of time. As long as you're still sitting at the computer, you can definitely distract yourself with other tasks on the computer. So that to me is a fantastic time to do it. Maybe you won't have it working for your departure, but by the time you get to your arrival, you could have it all set up and all the models nicely linked together. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about putting together a video that kind of talks about what model matching is and then introduces how to set it up in Microsoft Flight Simulator to kind of get more and more people into it, because I think that's huge. I really think that's huge in Microsoft Flight Simulator or in VATSIM in general is setting up model matching, having it be it just adds so much to the immersion. You hear people talking, you hear a British Airways plane talking or an Air Canada plane talking, you look over there and you see it over there. So I think that's going to be. I think it's a useful topic. I think that's something that definitely could be useful to people. I've toyed with other topics. I mean, it starts to get pretty advanced pretty quickly, and I don't want to necessarily spoon feed people everything, but certainly a little bit maybe about how to set up an IFR flight. The trouble is, like, more of the work when you're doing IFR flying is about knowing your aircraft, setting up your aircraft. So I'm not going to necessarily be able to teach people how to set up their aircraft, but I was thinking about sort of how to deal with clearances and things like that from an airliner perspective. And my thought was to, of course, use the fly-by-wire A320 because it's a freeware product, so anybody and everybody can use it. It's a product that's in development. It's not necessarily in any way, shape, or form a finished product yet. So it's not it's not necessarily the best thing to demonstrate with, but because it's accessible to everybody, I think it's a good demonstration tool. So I may do a little demonstration of like how to get an IFR clearance, how to read charts. I've been trying to think of like what kind of additional tutorials would be helpful, would help the newcomers to the VATSIM community sort of improve their flying, get over some of the nervousness. I know some people are always nervous about getting on VATSIM the first time, and it's understandable. The VATSIM community holds itself to a high standard. People who participate in VATSIM generally try to make the situation, the simulation, as realistic as possible. So newcomers who are unfamiliar with aircraft, unfamiliar with airspace rules and things like that can very quickly become overwhelmed. So I want to try and see what topics I can tackle that would help newcomers the most. And I think some of these things, especially uh, how to find charts, how to read charts, I think is huge. I think a lot of people need that. Uh, I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's one of the more common problems on VATSIM is people don't bother to ever read the chart before they depart. They don't do a proper departure briefing, and that's a big part of flying. At the end of the day, flying is 80% prep work. 20% actually doing it, but 80% of the job is prep work. Before you take off, even kind of in the even in a regional jet, you easily spend 30 minutes setting up your flight before you depart. And then you do very little activity once you get going because you want your focus, your energy directed towards what's happening during the flight. You don't want to be too distracted, so you want to have a lot of free mental capacity to be able to deal with what happens during the flight. So that's why so much of the work is done beforehand. The full programming of routes and speeds and briefing of the departures and looking at reviewing the weather and all that sort of stuff is done before you take off, so that once you take off, the takeoff itself is very high stress. If anything goes wrong, you need immediate reactions. That's why we have V speeds calculated and engine out procedures, escape routes already briefed before they happen, so we're ready for them. But even in cruise, we don't generally do a whole lot of work. The only real work we often do in cruise is prepping for the arrival, and we usually do that well in advance, well before we start our descent, so that, again, we do it during a low workload period. We try and do it far enough in advance that if anything does happen to make our workload higher, it's already done. So oftentimes something like if you're looking at like bad weather down the road, before around your top descent point, then you'll set up your arrival way earlier than you normally would, so that as you approach this bad weather, that arrival briefing's already out of the way, the work is done, and I can focus all my mental energy here on here and now. But anyways, I'm trying to find topics. So if anybody has a topic, a suggestion for something that would be useful for newcomers to learn, or something that you have a question about, that I'm trying to find topics for videos that I could put out there that kind of would complement my introduction to VATSIM videos, because they do seem to be the most popular videos on my channel. As far as Dash 8 videos go, yes, eventually I will get around to more Dash 8 videos. The Dash 8 videos are so complicated, they're so complex, with so many moving parts and diagrams and everything, that they take a very long time to develop. So I kind of want to cut my teeth. I haven't really done much video editing and production in quite some time, quite a few months. So I want to cut my teeth on something a little simpler. That's why I think a VATSIM video can be a VATSIM introduction video. A lot of it is just sort of explanations and sort of recordings of actually performing tasks. So I find them to be a little bit easier to produce. The Dash 8 videos, very work intensive. Very rewarding, but very work intensive. And for those of you that are waiting for a flight stream, I know I didn't do one this weekend. I was out of town all weekend, so I was completely unavailable to do that. However, I currently have planned, and I think I'm going to post in my Discord in the next day or so, next Monday night. So probably starting around 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is midnight Zulu. On Monday night, we're going to do a flight in the CRJ again. We're going to go from Halifax to Moncton over here to Montreal. I'm just going to do a little cross-country tour of Canada with my CRJ, explore some of the better airport sceneries that are out there, and hopefully pick up a little bit of ATC along the way. There's some good scenery, there's some bad scenery. I tend to avoid the bad scenery. I want to stick to the good scenery. So, Air Canada 1238 Montreal, when ready, descend flight level 290.
Starting descent to flight level 290, Air Canada 1238.
Roger. Skyways 2227, descend 6000.
Descend 6000, Skyways 2227.
One thing that is a little bit awkward about my desk, and I do want to fix it sometime soon, is having my yoke still on top of the desk. And I have looked at some of the undermounting solutions people have put together, and I'm really kind of leaning towards trying to do it. Get the yoke underneath the desk. It kind of takes up a little bit more leg space, but puts the keyboard and the mouse a little bit more front and center, and that's one thing that really kind of has bugged me for a while, is that my keyboard and my mouse are not front and center. I'm still kind of sprawling my arms way apart trying to do both of them at the same time. The one nice thing about this desk, one of the reasons why, like I created a U-shaped desk, so my arm, I have my right arm just kind of resting on part of the U, and the mouse is on that part, so that part's quite easy. But my keyboard, I find, is a little bit far away. It's a little bit awkward to reach for, and certainly to try and type, I'm kind of reaching through my control column. So it's more than a little bit awkward. If I can just show you what I've got down here, but it's hard to show, really. It doesn't really show very well, but I've got the control column is right here, but it's mounted on top of the desk here.
Montreal Center, Air Canada 3061, good afternoon, request radio check.
Sorry, who was calling Montreal Center for the radio check? I've got you 5x5, I just missed the call sign.
Thank you for 5, Air Canada 3061, I'm going to request our R4 clearance to Montreal.
Alright, Air Canada 3061, you're cleared to Montjoly via the Montreal 1 departure. Radar vectors to Cinro, flight plan route, depart runway 24 left, squawk code 0360.
We are cleared to Montreal Airport via the Montreal 1 departure, radar vector Cinro, after route expel. We expect 24 left for departure and squawk code 0360 for Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, thank you. The readback is correct. Information Alpha is current. Give me a call when you're ready for push and start.
We have an inbox, and we call you for push and start for Air Canada 3061.
This guy's a little bit quiet, but Skyways 2227, descend 4000.
Descend 4000, Skyways 2227.
See, now even when I'm reaching too far to get to the keyboard, I often hit the wrong button, so I'm trying not to do that. Alright, so he's up here somewhere, but he's buried in this cloud deck, so we probably won't see him until he's on final, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll see some aircraft taxiing here. And actually, let's do this. We have Air Canada 3061. Where do we suppose he is? Ah, found you. I do like Tower View. Tower View is kind of fun. It's a little bit gimmicky, but it's not, because especially if you are controlling like the ground, like it's a great way to see what's going on. It's very realistic. Like a tower controller, most of their job is spent looking out the window and talking on the radio. Very rarely do they actually look down at the radar controls. They'll look down kind of to see the flight strips and identify aircraft, but they will not look at the flight controls too often, or the flight controls, the radar screen too often. So I'd say it's pretty realistic to have this view open, and I kind of like it. I'm becoming more and more attached to it the more I use it here. So. And there are certain things you're supposed to do as a tower controller when you're controlling, and one of the things you're supposed to do anytime you give a takeoff and landing clearance, just before you give the takeoff or landing clearance, you are supposed to scan the runway to ensure that it is clear of obstructions, other aircraft, vehicles that may have strayed onto the runway, that sort of thing. It's easy to do you could do it in the radar view, but it's just so much more realistic to do it in the tower view. The one thing I kind of want to sort of set up a little bit better is I want to really set up a nice track IR where I can really kind of turn my head and look around the tower view. For live streaming, though, that's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit disorienting, I think, for live streaming. But for me personally, like I don't mind it, because then I'm just doing my doing what I need to do. Air Canada 1238 Heavy Montreal, continue descent 8000, Montreal altimeter 299er tree.
299er tree, 8,000 feet, Air Canada 1238.
Skyways 2277, fly heading 080, vectors for the approach, and descend 3000.
Fly heading 080 down to 3000, vectors for approach, Skyways 2227.
Alright, we need to aim him pretty much at Lona there. Alright, Delta's going to leave my space soon. British Airways is going to enter it soon. This British Airways is going to be with me for probably about an hour. And Virgin I'm going to have to hand off to Boston soon. And yeah, I've got the Turkish here. He didn't bother calling me. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, like he's really technically not in my airspace. I don't think he's going to be in my airspace for any length of time here. I do see an arrival to Ottawa in my flight plan list here. So let's pull up the Ottawa weather just to make sure we don't know what's going on here. Variable at 2. One other thing I should do is probably pull up NOTAMs as well. So let's pull up NOTAMs for active airports here. CYUL, CYOW, and also CYY. Skyways 2227, fly heading 150.
Fly heading 150, Skyways 2227.
Alright, 24 right. Today is the 8th of February, so that's that NOTAMs for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. Just looking to see, and then runway conditions on 24 right. Yeah, it's all dry. Kind of aircraft 737. Skyways 2227, turn right heading 210 to intercept, cleared the ILS 24 right.
Turn right heading 210 to intercept, localizer for 24 right, cleared ILS, Skyways 2227.
Probably a little bit far out, but anyways. Oh no, you got him. Cool. Virgin 2128 heavy, contact Boston Center now, 134.7. Good day. Virgin 2128 heavy, Montreal. Alright, I got an airplane on the ground in Saint-Hubert. So let's pull up a ground view for Saint-Hubert so we're ready for him when he calls. There we go. Let's pull up the weather in Saint-Hubert. Yeah. It's just slightly favoring the 6s, so he can have 6 right or 6 left for departure, whatever he wants. He is IFR going down to Manchester. 3,000. Is 3,000 going to clear? I'm just going to pull up my... What's his route? Is it direct? Quins and the Rossi 2.
Montreal Center, good afternoon. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo is at Charlie Yankee Hotel uniform requesting IFR to Kilo Mike Hotel Tango.
Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, Montreal, good day. Just having a look at your flight plan here, and unfortunately I can't authorize that at the altitude you've filed due to mountainous terrain. The minimum altitude I can authorize for that flight is 7,000. Do you want me to amend your final altitude to 7,000?
From 7,000 sounds good. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, thank you. I'm changing your final altitude to 7,000, and just give me one moment. I'll be right back with you.
No problem. Take your time. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Skyways 2227. The Montreal winds showing 330 at 7. Clear to land. Runway 24 right.
Clear to land. Runway 24 right. Skyways 2227.
All right, Gulf Sierra Alpha Romeo, and the winds in Saint-Hubert are showing 350 at 9er. Do you want 6 right or 6 left for departure?
6 left is good for me. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, you're cleared to Manchester via the Saint-Hubert 7 departure. Vectors to Quins, flight plan route, departure runway 06 left, squawk code 0347.
clear to Kilo Mike Hotel Tango via flight plan route, Sandy Bear, vectors to Queens, and expect 06 left, squawk 0347, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, and just to confirm, it's the Saint-Hubert 7 SID, the Saint-Hubert 7 departure.
Sandy Bear 7 SID, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, thank you. The readback is all correct information. Or sorry, I don't have any information in Saint-Hubert, but right now it's we're reporting winds 350 at 9 miles, overcast at 1,000, temperature -3, dew point -6, and altimeter 2991. That was from 1600 Zulu. Give me a call when you're ready for taxi.
Altimeter 2991, and we'll give you a call. Thank you. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Montreal Center, Canada 3061, ready for 45.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, push approved, face east, and call ready for taxi.
Face east, and we call you for taxi for Canada 3061.
Alright, Delta is leaving my airspace. Alright, Delta's leaving my airspace, so I'm turfing him to Unicom. Virgin, I checked him out, good. And let's see if we can see the Skyways here. Still, I don't see him. He's 700 feet on final. I still don't see him out there. 30 seconds to touchdown. Still nothing. Is it drawing him? I'm curious if it's drawing him properly. I don't see him. I see the end of the runway. I don't see... Did it pick a model for him? Actually, let's do it this way. For some reason, it's not even showing him in... That's weird. That's weird. I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect my tower view because it does not seem to want to draw him. Is it because there's too much?
Center, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo is ready to taxi 06 left.
Skyways 2227, welcome to Montreal. Left turn on Bravo 2. Continue Foxtrot across runway 28, and where are you parking?
Left Bravo 2 onto Foxtrot, cross runway 28, and we'll park anywhere. Skyways 2227.
And Skyways 2227, alright, since you're coming from Mexico, we'll keep it easy. Straight ahead after Foxtrot onto gate 61.
Straight ahead after Foxtrot to gate 61, Skyways 2227, thanks.
It does not, because it doesn't recognize the Skyways call sign in my database, it's not showing him as an aircraft. It's a little annoying, but anyways. Alright, Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, my apologies for the delay. Runway 06 left, and let's see, the altimeter in Saint-Hubert, 2991. Taxi Tango, and runway 10. Hold short of 06 left. You're cleared to cross runway 06 right.
Taxi via Tango, cross runway 10 was it, and hold short 06, cross 06 right. Sorry, could you say that again? I do apologize. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, no problem. Taxi for runway 06 left, taxi Tango, down runway 10. You're cleared to cross runway 06 right and hold short of 06 left.
Taxi Tango down runway 10, cross 06 right and hold short 06 left, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
You got it.
Thank you, sorry about that.
No problem. The way I said it the first time was...
Center, Canada 3061, ready for taxi.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, runway 0... correction, runway 24 left. The altimeter 29903. The information is still Alpha. Taxi apron at your discretion. Alpha Mike Alpha cross runway 28.
Altimeter 29903, and we have Alpha with permission and taxi via the apron on our discretion. Alpha Mike Alpha cross 28, and no 44 left for Delta 36.
All right. I'm wondering if I can. Yeah, so Skyways Virtual. Unfortunately, it's a virtual airline, so because of that, there's no livery packages available for it, so it's not going to draw anything. But I'm disappointed that it's not drawing like a default 737 even, or a default even twin jet. I don't even know why it's not drawing anything for it. Because it is listed as a B738, so it should try to draw something. It's a little disappointing. What's going on? Why is there a lag in my tower view here? Is it because I have this open? That's weird. Because look at this. He's taxied. He's stuck. Something weird is going on with tower view today. Let's try. And I wonder if it's just because there's too many aircraft for VPilot to keep track of. Because I'm going to try closing it and opening it again because it's weird that he's stuck there. There. So now it's gone. Now it should draw him there in a moment. Strange things going on here. I don't know why it's not drawing a generic aircraft. I'm guessing it's just too many things going on here. Air Canada 1238, descend 3,000.
3,000 feet at Canada 1238.
Now it's drawing the Skyways. There it is. Drew him with a generic A320. But now it won't draw the Air Canada. I have a feeling that I'm probably overloading tower view here. Here's my list of aircraft that are available to me here that VPilot is tracking. Some of them are 1,400 miles away from Montreal, but because it's downloading everything that I have, everything that's in this sim here. So maybe I can take this. Maybe I can take this down just a little bit to kind of reduce the workload. So
Montreal Center, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
Sierra Alpha Romeo, Montreal, go ahead.
Request taxi back to the ramp. Unfortunately, I just checked the weather and it seems like Boston has moderate icing and it's a no-go on a Cessna. So if I can get taxi back instructions to the ramp, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, and please cancel IFR.
Okay, Sierra Alpha Romeo will cancel your flight plan. Are you able to make a 180 on the taxiway?
Affirm, Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo.
All right, Sierra Alpha Romeo, the 180 is approved, and you can taxi apron at taxi Tango to the apron of your discretion.
Taxi Tango, apron at my discretion. Charlie Golf Sierra Alpha Romeo, thank you for your service.
No problem. All right. It's a little bit. Hold on. Just trying to make sure that I still have full coverage of almost all of my airspace here. I'm missing a little tiny chunk there, but it's not too bad. I might even turn it down just one more notch, even, just to remove some aircraft from my visibility here. So if I take it down to 450, come on, somewhere there, anyways. Make these circles even smaller. Takes a couple seconds for it to update sometimes. Let them fade away and try it again. Now it should be smaller. Yeah, there we go. It's a bigger chunk missing there. Let's cut down on the number of aircraft, but it still is not drawing some of these aircraft that are within range. I think at the end it's coming down to Air Canada 3061 Montreal. Contact me once you're airborne. The winds are 330 at 7. Clear for takeoff, runway 24 right.
Clear for takeoff, 24 left. Canada 3061.
And Air Canada 3061, my apologies, it is clear for takeoff, 24 left.
No worries, 24 left, clear for takeoff.
I'm obsessing over this model matching now, and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here, unfortunately. Oh, it finally has, now that the airplane is at the far end of the airport. I don't see him there. He should be there. It says that it's drawing him in the sim. It seems to be limiting itself to drawing 2 airplanes at a time. Oh, now it's got him back there too, so I don't know what's going on. I may shut down VPilot here quickly.
Montreal Centre, Speedbird 268, radio check.
Speedbird 268, read you 5.
Roger that, we are with you, flight level 390, and we are 7.5 miles from Kansas.
Speedbird 268 Montreal, squawk code 0342.
Yeah, roger that, squawk in 0342 for Speedbird 268.
Okay, so I just restarted my VPilot. It really seems to have problems though.
Center, Canada 3061 at 2,000 feet, 5,000. Montreal 1 departure.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, identified, climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000 for Air Canada 3061.
Air Canada 1238 at Lona, cleared ILS, runway 24 right.
Clear ELS 24 right at Canada 1238.
All right, now I'm going to start looking because there's something very
Speedbird
glitchy.
268, requesting climb to 410, as we have a step climb.
Speedbird 268 Montreal, you're identified, flight level 390, that's approved, climb flight level 410.
Roger that, climb flight level 410 for Speedbird 268.
Air Canada 3061, turn right heading 330.
Turn right heading 330 for Canada 3061.
Probably live on stream is not the best time to be trying to diagnose these problems, but there's something weird and wacky going on here. Alright, where is November?
ILS 24 right intercepted, Air Canada 1238 on final.
Air Canada 1238 Montreal, thank you. Winds in Montreal are 340 at 6, clear to land, runway 24 right.
Clear to land 24 right, Air Canada 1238.
Air Canada 3061, turn right direct Cinro and climb flight level 370.
Proceed direct Central and climb 370 for Canada 3061. And we're going to leave the cockpit just a few seconds and we'll call you back. It's going to be counted.
And Air Canada 3061, sorry, you said you're going to step out of the cockpit for a few minutes?
No, just a few seconds and we'll call you back when we're going to be back.
Air Canada 3061, roger. And there we go. All right, so now
Montreal Centre, Seabird 268. How long are we going to be with you for? I just need to pop out quickly.
Speedbird 268 Montreal. Let's see here. You are probably going to be with me for about an hour here.
Okay, sweet. Am I alright to step out the cockpit for about 20 minutes?
Speedbird 268, affirmative, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Yeah, roger that. Thank you.
All right, he's AFK till 1747. Boston's trying to hand me this guy. I'm just sort of trying to get... yeah, so he's trying to put me on a weird star. So I just was reading now, and yeah, I mean, there's release notes, but like there's so many release notes everywhere. Virtual towers via proxy server with Euroscope will not function until Euroscope is updated. I guess there's not enough position updates that the what the Euroscope used to put out and pretend to be a VATSIM server is not. Sure.
On with 24 right clear, taxi to gate 55.
Air Canada 1238, welcome to Montreal. Sorry, you said gate 55?
Affirmative 55 or 57, I don't care.
Air Canada 1238, okay, turn right on Bravo, and then taxi Bravo to Foxtrot, across runway 28 and south ramp.
Bravo 2, Bravo 1, Foxtrot at Canada 1238.
All right, and then
Air Canada 3061 is back.
Air Canada 3061, thank you. I wonder. Okay, because I was looking at Euroscope to see if it's been updated, and I wonder what's the date on this update. This was January 2nd, so it's not new enough. That's a pity. So at best, it's going to be very unreliable with freezes. So I don't even know why I really have the tower view up here. With VATSIM velocity, tower view and Euroscope is now broken until Euroscope gets updated, which is just a shame because it is a fun system when you can get it to work, and it was working perfectly well prior to velocity. But obviously, velocity has updated a lot of the back end. The clients have been updated, but yeah. Hmm. All right, well, this guy's going to stay well ahead. This guy's crossing over. There's another airplane here in my airspace, so I'm going to ping him. We got guys coming inbound to Quebec. Pull up the weather for Quebec. It's runway 06 in Quebec. All right, so this tower view is kind of a little bit useless, unfortunately. It does some updates, but not others. It's too bad. Too bad. Because I do enjoy tower view, and I think it adds so much to the stream. It adds so much to what I'm trying to do here, but unfortunately, we need Euroscope to be updated.
Montreal, Montreal, very good evening, Airbus Chicago 102 Heavy with you, flight level 330 inbound Petra.
Airbridge 102 Heavy, Montreal, good day. Squawk code 0341.
0341, Airbus Chicago 1010.
Get rid of the...
At Canada 1238 at the gate, engine shut down. Thank you for ATC today. So long.
Air Canada 1238 Montréal, merci pour voler avec nous. All right. All right. So what other software here? So let's go.
Montreal Center, Hawker 648, Charlie Alpha, flight level 390.
Number 648, Charlie Alpha, Montreal, good day. And you're direct to Olavo, is that correct?
Direct to Olavo, appreciate the coordination. Charlie Alpha.
Hey, Charlie Alpha, no problem. When ready, descend flight level 290. Quebec's going to be landing runway 06.
240 and expecting 06, Charlie Alpha.
And 8 Charlie Alpha 290. When ready, descend 290.
90, Charlie Alpha.
All right, so let's see. I'm just looking through the Euroscope to see if there's... Issues with Euroscope. See, and it won't go direct to Olavo, I don't think. I'm going to try it here. Oh, now it's going to show him direct Olavo. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so now I sort of have an idea of what's going on. Airbridge 102 Heavy, Montreal. You're identified flight level 330. Welcome. And then there's this guy who's probably going, it's probably Air Canada 450 going to Ottawa. All right. And November 648 Charlie Alpha Montreal. I have the entire Quebec sequence if you want it.
Go ahead for Charlie Alpha.
8 Charlie Alpha, so the Quebec City sequence from, especially from 1710 Zulu, that's about 25 minutes ago. The winds were showing 080 at 14, correction 090 at 14, 2.5 miles in light snow, scattered at 1,000, overcast at 3,000. Temperature -2, dew point -4, altimeter 2988. You can plan an ILS runway 06 unless you prefer something else.
06 works for us and 2988 for the altimeter, Charlie Alpha.
Raj.
And Montreal Center, good afternoon. Canada 450. We're level at flight level 270.
Air Canada 450 Montreal. Good day. Squawk code 0363.
0363 on the squawk. Canada 450.
All right, and I know that ILS 07 unserviceable. That's tomorrow. All right, looking at green. All right, so it looks like we can do 07 into Ottawa. Air Canada 450 Montreal, you're identified, flight level 270. Ottawa winds are showing 270 at 3, runway 25. Let me know which approach you'd like.
We set up for the ILS 07 if that works for you.
Air Canada 450. Yeah, I have no other traffic right now, so runway 07 is approved. You can plan ILS 07 when ready to send 8,000. Altimeter 2991.
Alright, when ready, we're descending 10,000. Air Canada 450.
Air Canada 450 to send 8,000 when ready.
My bad, 8,000 when ready. Air Canada 450.
Alright, so these guys are pretty far apart here. I don't think they're ever going to be a conflict. Alright, but I do need to start looking at getting things open for Quebec. I can probably close the ground view in St. Hubert because that guy logged off. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone say, oh, we're going to not fly because of the ice. That's new. It's not a bad decision. It's a good decision, don't get me wrong. I've just never heard anybody make that decision before. Alright, so there's Quebec, and we'll get a ground view up in Quebec, if I can get it. Where is it? There. So now we're ready for that guy. That guy's just flying these waypoints. I also need a terminal view in Ottawa, so let's see if I should have Ottawa. Ottawa. I'm going to bring up the 2532 terminal because that's the one I should be using. And the Ottawa ground. So I'm ready for anybody else who comes, and this guy will, I'll make do with what I've got here. Air Canada 3061 Montreal. I have the latest sequence for Montjoly from 1710 Zulu if you're ready to copy. Air Canada 450 Montreal. Do you need the Ottawa sequence from 1700 Zulu?
Negative. We have it on board. Air Canada 450.
Air Canada 450, roger. Air Canada 3061 Montreal. Do you want the latest Montjoly sequence?
Yeah. Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061 Montjoly weather at 1710 Zulu, 1710 Zulu. This is about 30 minutes ago. Winds were showing 080, 21, gust 26, reporting 5/8 of 1 mile visibility. Light snow, drifting snow, broken clouds 500, overcast 3000, temperature -4, dew point -5, altimeter 3005. I'll get you the latest RVR momentarily here.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to take the RNAV 06 in Montreal for Air Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061, plan the RNAV, runway 06.
Thank you for...
That's what I'm looking for. Da, 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 da. Let's see, Montreal. No, I don't have. No, that's just local. I don't have a live readout. All right. How far has he got to go here still? He's still got 160 miles, so he's still got a ways to go. November 648, Charlie Alpha, Montreal. Continue your descent to 8,000, the Quebec altimeter 29er88.
29er88 down to 8,000, 648 Charlie Alpha.
And Air Canada 450, are you going to have enough room to get down there, or do you want some vectors to lose altitude?
Some vectors would be good, Air Canada 450.
All right, Air Canada 450, turn right heading 110 vectors to lose altitude for the ILS.
Right, 110, Air Canada 450.
You know, it's funny when you're browsing and you just start opening window after window after window, and I have or tab after tab after tab. I must have 10, 15 tabs open here as I was trying to look up information about why Euroscope's not working properly, or why the tower view's not working properly. I hope they update Euroscope soon, because I really love using tower view, and it's disappointing. I didn't realize that that was going to be an issue. I mean, it makes sense, and in hindsight, I'm surprised I didn't consider it to be an issue. But yeah, Euroscope and vPilot are not playing nice for the time being until Euroscope gets a little update to better react to VATSIM velocity. That's a pity, though. I do enjoy using it, and it's a good way to show off some of these airfields. So, it really, I mean, at this point, this has just become irrelevant. I might as well just do this. Or I could even do this. All right, so I'm just trying to open up a second window here instead of for some reason it's being a little bit of a bear here. But if I can't have tower view be any use, then I might as well have a second screen open here. But because I've done so much configuration stuff here, it's not going to work for me. I wonder if I can make it work. For crying out loud. There we go. Alright, so now I can put this on the right half. I can go back to putting this on the left half, and now I've got two views. Aha. No, left. There we go. Now I got an overview, or I can switch this to a ground view if I want. This can be my ground view over here. So I can open up ground view in Montreal. And now I'm ready to kind of flip back and forth and monitor information from two different screens, which is just a little bit more useful sometimes. Actually, I probably should have left those ones on here and taken it off on the other one. That way I have more on my radar, more room on my radar screen here. Here comes another Skyways.
Montreal Centre, good afternoon to you. Skyways 20 inbound
Skyways 20 Heavy, Montreal, good day. Squawk code 0361.
0361 to the box, Skyways 20.
Skyways 20 Heavy, thanks. Identify, flight level 370, welcome. See, what I can do is I can start removing some of these views. Air Canada 450, descend 4,000.
Descending 4,000, Air Canada 450.
And Air Canada 450, turn left, heading 360.
Left heading 360 for Air Canada 450.
All right, I may have let him go a little bit too far, trying to sort of make some judgments. I'm also trying to do like 3 things at once here. So open Montreal ground, open Ottawa ground, and open, oops. Didn't mean to close that already. Open Ottawa ground, and let's open Quebec ground. And then I've got my ground views on one side. I've got my radar views on the other. And I can start closing these. Just makes it a little easier to kind of track multiple things that are going on. So we'll have Ottawa ready to go. There's Cathay, Speedbird, Air Canada 3061. And he was requesting the RNAV Zulu. So let's start looking up some information about Montjoly. Get him some information because we got lots of things going on now. It's a fairly decently busy day. It's not slam, but it's good because like there's a lot of planes going to places I'm not used to, which kind of makes it useful then for me trying to find stuff here. Air Canada 3061 Montreal. Did you want to do the RNAV Zulu via EPMAL?
Affirmative via EPMAL for the RNAV 06 in Montreal for Air Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061, proceed direct EPMAL.
Proceed direct EPMAL for Air Canada 3061.
Air Canada 450, descend 3,000.
Descending 3,000, Air Canada 450.
Yeah, this actually work out just right. He's at 6,000 now. Yeah, he was a little high, but this will work out just fine. He'll kind of come around just, maybe just 10 degrees right left. Air Canada 450, make it heading 350.
350 for the heading, Air Canada 450.
I just want him to just be just outside Faisal to intercept. That way I know he'll be able to get down in time. Zoom that in a little bit. He's on his way to Olavo. I wonder if that's just because he already programmed it that way and he couldn't change it. I don't know. It's a bit of an odd choice, but anyways. So I'm going to start bringing up more and more information like METARs on this screen here so that I can remove them from the other screen. And I can have more room for radar on this screen while I've got this screen gets cluttered because there's not as much information necessarily needed on the ground screen. It's not as much fun as having the tower view open, but since the tower view has proved itself to be pretty unreliable at this point, I think we'll just go with it. Yeah, this will work out just nicely. That was just a long enough vector, actually. He's going to be just level for a couple seconds before I get him turned on to final here. Worked out better than I planned. It was all planned. It was 100% skill. There was no no happy accident there. Air Canada 450, turn right heading 040 for the intercept. Cleared the ILS, runway 07.
040 for the intercept, And cleared ILS, runway 07, Air Canada 450.
Notice it's getting just a little bit bright on my green screen again, so I'm just going to see if I can't. Did that help it or make it worse? No, that helped it a little bit. All right, he's doing pretty good. One thing I notice is missing from my terminal views here is vectoring altitudes. See if I can find, no, not high airways, it'll be under SIDS, I think. Or is it under stars? Maybe it's under stars.
Montreal Centre, Speedbird 268 is back on the flight deck. Sorry about that, we had a connection issue as well.
Speedbird 268 Montreal, no problem at all. Why can't I get CYQB airspace, center lines, terminal, ground layout, control zone. Should probably have the control zone up, but what I'm really looking for is sorry, who's calling Montreal?
Air Canada 36 with a slower altitude.
Air Canada 3061, you're coming in pretty faint out there. You said you're top of descent. When ready to descend, flight level 290.
Descent maintain 290 for Air Canada 361.
Air Canada 3061, that's correct. Air Canada 450, the Ottawa winds are 270 at 3, clear to land, runway 07.
Clear land 07, Air Canada 450.
I cannot seem to figure out.
Montreal Center, Michigan Air 088 with you, flight level 360.
Michigan Air 088 Montreal. Is that Mike Alpha Papa?
Correct.
Michigan Air 88 Heavy Montreal, squawk code 0343.
0343 in the box.
All right, try one more time. I know it's here somewhere. I just don't know where. I've turned it on before. So I know it's here somewhere. I just can't figure out where. CYQB. Somewhere in here. CYQB TCU, but no, I'm not looking for the TCU. I'm looking for CYQB SID, South Jet, South SID. No, stars. CYQB MRVA, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. November 648 Charlie Alpha. Would you like a shortcut direct to RETIP, perhaps?
Yeah, we can take the right turn, RETIP, 648 Charlie Alpha.
648 Charlie Alpha. Proceed direct RETIP, descend 5,000.
Direct RETIP down to 5,000, D Charlie Alpha.
Air Canada 450, welcome to Ottawa. Left turn at the end, taxi Bravo, apron at your discretion.
Left turn at the end, and we're taxiing apron at our discretion, Air Canada 450. Thank you.
Michigan Air 88 Heavy Montreal, identified, flight level 360, welcome.
Roger, Michigan Air 088.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, descend 5,000, the Montjoly altimeter 3005.
descend to 5,000 for Canada 361.
Alright, there he goes. He's on Bravo. And Air Canada 3061. I have a new METAR for Montjoly. It's the same time as the previous one, 1710 Zulu, but it's a correction. Do you want to copy it?
Yes, for 3061.
All right, so the Montjoly corrected speci from 1710 Zulu. The winds 080, 21 gust 26, reporting 5 miles in light snow, drifting snow, broken 500, overcast 3000, temperature -4, dew point -5 in the altimeter 3005.
That will be right. Thank you, and thank you for Canada 36.
And November 684 Charlie Alpha, vectors for the ILS runway 06. Turn right heading 130.
130, Charlie Alpha.
I don't know why he wanted to go all the way up to that arrival, but anyways, maybe he just felt he needed to go up there to lose the altitude. And 8 Charlie Alpha, I've got a new sequence here in Quebec from 1737 Zulu. The winds were reported 100 at 11, gust 18, 2 miles in light snow, broken clouds 900, overcast at 2700, temperature -2, dew point -4, altimeter 2986. And November 684 Charlie Alpha. I also have the latest runway surface condition report for runway 06 in Quebec. This was issued at 15:54 Zulu, so about 2 hours ago. Runway 06 condition code 555. Reported 70% wet, 10% 1/8 inch wet snow, 70% wet, 10% 1/8 inch wet snow, and 30% wet.
Hey, Charlie Alpha, thank you, sir. And just so you know, we'll be parking Avjet, Quebec.
Copy that, thank you. Air Canada 3061, I have runway conditions for Montjoly as well if you want to copy.
Yes, please for 31.
Air Canada 3061, the Montjoly runway surface condition, this was issued at 1744 Zulu, so this is pretty darn recent. Condition code 555, 80% 1/8 inch wet snow and 20% wet, 100% 1/8 inch wet snow, and 100% 1/8 inch wet snow on a 100-foot width cleared. Remaining width is 1/8 inch wet snow.
Oh, thank you very much. We're gonna use the medium minutes break for this landing with 3061.
684 Charlie Alpha, descend 3000.
Down to 3, Charlie Alpha.
Air Canada 3061, you're cleared Montjoly, Arnav Zulu, Arnav runway 06 Epmal transition.
We are clear for the Arnav Epmal transition. That was for the runway 06 at Montjoly. Thank you very much for all the ATC and the weather information. 3061.
No problem. He's really quiet. I'm having a little bit of a difficult time hearing him, but anyways, 06, and we're going to give him the Quebec 6, he's going to Indianapolis, that's probably him right there, and Avjet, yeah, all the way around the backside, okay, yep. Alright, lots of stuff going on, but nothing completely, nothing too hectic, nothing too crazy. Get this Air Canada 837 on the freak as well. Alright, give him a couple seconds. This guy gets his turn on to final. I'm surprised I've got no bilingual ATC. Nobody's laughing at me yet. That's the end of my coffee. Oh, well, if that's the end of my coffee, then maybe that's the end of my controlling. And, sorry, who was looking for 5 minutes away?
Skyways 20.
Skyways 20 is approved. Let me know when you're back.
I will go. Thanks very much. Skyways 20.
Alright, just another mile here. Turn that on, turn that down to 3. I just put 3 miles away from intercepting finals. We'll give it another mile here, and then it should be good.
On the Montreal, bon après-midi, Air Canada 1713, radio check.
November 648 Charlie Alpha, turn left heading 030. No, I'm sorry. November 684 Charlie Alpha, turn left heading 090. Cleared ILS 06.
90 and clear the ILS runway 68 Charlie Alpha.
Air Canada 837 Montreal, bon après-midi, squawk code 0340. Stumbling over intercepts. Air Canada 837 Montreal, I reach you 5, squawk code 0340. Assuming it was him that was calling. No? Maybe it wasn't him. It's the only Air Canada I see, though, that I'm not talking to already. Air Canada 3061 Montreal, I have no further traffic observed or reported between you and Montjoly. You can switch to the local frequency for the arrival. Report down and clear on this frequency.
Can you repeat the last transmission? I have some problem with the volume.
Air Canada 3061 Montreal, no further traffic observed or reported between you and the field. Switch to the local frequency for the arrival and report down and clear on this frequency.
Okay, no flight of you for any project between me and the airport. I'm gonna call you and it'll be down at Montreal for Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061, thanks. And it's possible you may not get me there. You might be a little bit too far away from a voice transmitter there in Montjoly. If you don't get any answer by voice, just send me a text.
Roger, and I'm gonna do a last flight for the IFR clearance. Who have to call you. I'm gonna be airborne for Canada 3061.
Air Canada 3061, yeah, if you're turning around and coming back out again, you can either call me airborne or try to get me on the ground. I'm not sure if the frequency coverage works in Montjoly or not. So if you don't get me, you can also try texting me as well, and I can relay a clearance via text.
Okay, but we're gonna go to Seattle after, so I will probably call you when I will be airborne for Canada 3061.
Very good. November 648 Charlie Alpha, the Quebec wind 090, 11 gust 18, clear to land, runway 06.
Clear to land 068 Charlie Alpha.
My terminal units are getting a little boring, but it's kind of nice having segregation between ground and terminal. It makes it a lot easier to sort of keep things straight in your mind. Speedbird 295 Heavy Montreal, you're leaving my airspace to the west. Toronto's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a good day.
Frequency Speedbird 295, thank you, service, bye-bye.
Alright, well, I have to say, we did get a decent amount of traffic today. Not a whole lot of people chatting. I keep looking over at the chat window, and the chat window is empty, but at least we got people, I got some people watching, and we definitely have quite a bit of traffic. I'm reasonably happy with the amount of traffic we got. Air Canada 837 Montreal, how do you read? Definitely a reasonable amount of traffic for a, what is today? Today's a Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon? Tuesday lunchtime? Not a bad amount of traffic. Most of it, unfortunately, is overflights, but what are you going to do? Skyways 20, thank you very much. But that's midday on VATSIM. Sometimes you get the traffic, sometimes you don't. You spend enough time on here, you'll probably talk to at least a few people. Pity we're not getting a little bit more traffic in and out of Montreal here. Do have one departure out of Quebec City there going over to Indianapolis. Let's see, what's his route here? He's going Quebec 6 PSAC, Q905 Agla, Q941 TACAL, direct Brock. Yeah, so... Here, I lost the Air Canada 3061 on radar there. Not sure why it's not wanting to... Oh, probably because... I got a transponder target there now. Yeah, it looks like he's taxiing around on the apron. This guy said he's going to Avjet, which is nicely and conveniently labeled for me. It's right over here. 648 Charlie Alpha, Montreal. Bienvenue à Quebec. For Avjet, turn right on Alpha if you've got it, then taxi Delta, Bravo, Bravo 1 through the apron.
Alpha Delta Bravo Bravo 1 to Avjet, 6 Charlie Alpha.
One of the biggest problems too that constantly is, it's a constant headache for pilots and for ATC is not necessarily knowing who's got what scenery installed. So Quebec is an example of an airport where there was not a substantial change, but there was some minor changes in the last decade or so to the configuration of the airfield. This taxiway here didn't exist before. There was a different taxiway here. And certainly if you get people using older sims, then sometimes they will not have this taxiway. So sometimes it's very challenging as a controller to try and give people a taxi instruction that without knowing what scenery they have. I've started myself as a personal habit to start to put comments, especially airports I know that are undergoing major airside renovations and changes. I've tried to put what scenery version I have in my remarks of my VATSIM flight plan so that controllers can look and see. This guy I don't think has anything in here. It's planned on SimBrief, but there's nothing in there. So to me, that would be that's a really useful feature for both pilots and controllers, so that way the controller knows roughly what the pilot's looking at, and they can give them appropriate taxi instructions that kind of match what iteration of the airfield they might be looking at. One thing that I've kind of been sort of hinting at, and I think would be a really useful thing, would be if SimBrief could have a database of permanent NOTAMs you could save for various airports that would go in the remarks of your flight plan. In the real world, in the real world dispatching systems, every airport, an airline, a dispatcher can assign custom comments to an airport and save them as a permanent comment, so that if that airport appears as a destination, an origin, and alternate, these comments will come up in the flight plan every single time, whether it be for certain gates are usable, equipment's unserviceable, whatever it might be. They'll automatically come up in the flight plan. I think would be a really useful feature for SimBrief to have that sort of a feature where I could, for example, I could say MSFS default scenery
Montreal Center,
for Quebec.
Tuesday, exit jet 777, station down in Quebec City. We have the weather on board requesting IFR clearance to Indianapolis International Airport.
ExecJet 777 Montreal, bonjour. You're cleared to Indianapolis via the Quebec 6 departure. Radar vectors to PSAC, flight plan route. Depart runway 06, squawk code 0345.
We're clear to Indianapolis Airport via the Quebec 6 departure. Vectors to PSAC will be squawking 0345. Exit at 777.
ExecJet 777, that readback is all correct, and it is runway 06 on the Quebec 6 departure. Start up at your discretion and call when you're ready for taxi.
Exit at 77. We are ready taxi runway 06.
ExecJet 777, Montreal, the Quebec City. Let's see here. The winds are 090, correction, 100, 11, gust 18. The altimeter 2986, runway 06, taxi Delta and Golf, cross runway 11.
Delta Golf, crossing 11, ExecJet 777, thank you.
And ExecJet 777, the runway surface condition for runway 06 is showing condition code 555, 70% wet and 10% 1/8 inch wet snow, 70% wet, 10% 1/8 inch wet snow, and 30% wet. That was issued at 15:54 Zulu about 2 hours ago.
We appreciate the information. ExecJet 77, 777, thank you.
It's just easier to say 777. 777 does not roll off the tongue. It's too repetitive. There's no pattern to it. It's just repetitive. Okay, at 837 Heavy Montreal, do you read? Gonna have to ping him again. All right, so if anybody's thinking about logging on as well, I got about 45 more minutes before I'm going to sign off for the day. Maybe start working on that next video. So if anybody else is thinking of logging on and doing a flight, now's the time to do it. Starting to run a little bit low on time, but you can definitely get a departure out in the 45 minutes I have remaining. I wouldn't expect probably a full flight unless it's a short flight. I have a couple of guys inbound here to Montreal. Unfortunately, I'm going to be gone before they get here. And it's always just the way it is. It takes just a little bit too long to get going, but I do have this one ExecJet departure here. We'll get him turned and on course, and I do have this Air Canada 837, but he's just transiting going on, and this KLM over here as well coming into my airspace. So as you can see, especially during the day, Montreal is very much an overflight. It's an overflight division. Lost Speedbird 268 again. It's not one that you doesn't see a whole lot of traffic, but it can, and it varies. It depends. I think it's just in this case, it's just a time of day. Most of the people who are kind of online right now are a lot of long haulers, and then there's a lot of traffic in Europe because it's already evening in Europe. But in North America, it's mostly long haulers, so people kind of already pre-plan their flights. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not a whole lot of traffic. But I mean, we did get this one guy, Air Canada 3061, that went from Montreal out to Montjoly. Hopefully, he'll turn around and come back the other way. That'd be great. Lost my Speedbird. I lose too many airplanes that way. Not a whole lot of ATC. No, there is some West Coast ATC happening. There is some West Coast ATC happening there in Vancouver. LAX, Albuquerque, and a little bit of control. Chicago, Thunder Bay. There's some stuff happening today in VATSIM, but it's not particularly busy, unfortunately. Wish it was a little busier. Always wish it was a little busier. That's almost forever what I'm wishing for. I always wish I had just 10-20% more airplanes. Wish I had more interest, I think, at this point. That's kind of where I'm at, because I got all these guys. They're just sort of all going. Nobody's talking much here. I might just amend his flight plan so the next time he gets bumped off and bumped back on, it shows him at 410 without me having to amend it. Cook 9, where did he come from? He came from CYCH, Charlotte to Fargo. Cook 69. Don't think the is that Boston? Yeah, Boston maybe's getting him something there. Charlotte. Alright, now I'm going to ping this guy. And I'm going to ping this guy. It's nice to have two views open at the same time, though. I really do. And I have a widescreen monitor here. It's nice having two views open. It really kind of lets you scan and track multiple things at the same time without too easily losing track of one thing. And especially ground views. Like ground views, it's very hard to keep track of what's going on at the ground.
Very good afternoon, Air Canada 837 is with you. Telephone 320. We are inbound Moffat intersection.
Air Canada 837 in Montreal. Bonjour. Squawk code 0340.
0340 Air Canada 837.
Just sending a message to Boston here. Air Canada 837 Heavy Montreal. Thank you. Identified flight level 320. Welcome.
Roger, thank you.
This guy's going San Francisco. I mean, and it just allows so many nice things. Like I can declutter part of my screen here by putting my lists up on the other screen. I can even have my flight plan on one screen and text on another screen. It's very, very useful to have multiple windows open. And oftentimes when I'm controlling, I will do it. But obviously with the tower view open that I had before, I wanted to have that open. That obviously is kind of useless, and I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed because I didn't realize that it wasn't working. But this is really one of the first times I've gotten on the network since Velocity released. No, that's not true. I was on last week. I was on last week for my mega stream on the 2nd, but I was on my laptop, which does not have Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I wasn't doing tower view, so I didn't even become aware that that was an issue. So, all right, that's probably KLM, flight level 350. Squawk 0362. It's interesting to see the variety of aircraft too represented on these sims. 777, 777, Citation, 767, 748. They're all Boeings. Except for this one. We got one A350 here. Everybody else is flying a Boeing. But it's interesting to see the variety of airplanes, and sometimes you see unusual ones that you're not expecting. Occasionally you see someone load up a C series or something like that. You don't know necessarily which versions people are flying either, whether they're flying like a default version, whether they're flying a really good version. 748, I'm going to guess he could be flying prepared, or he could be flying the default MSFS airplane. You just never know. And KLM 282, identified 350, welcome. Boston must be busy because he's not answering me here. New controller anyways. At some point they swapped controllers. I didn't even notice. But see, and that's always good when you can swap controllers and keep consistent service on VATSIM, and no one even knows that a shift change happened other than just the voice is different. I love that. Just carry on more controlling with a different voice. I love that. ExecJet 777 Montreal. Contact me once you're airborne. The wind's still 100 at 11, gust 18. Clear for takeoff, runway 06.
We'll contact once airborne and clear for takeoff, runway 06, exit at 777.
Here's my Quebec terminal view. I feel like I'm missing something. There's supposed to be restricted airspace here too. There used to be a restricted airspace there. Nope. Nope. It's okay.
Montreal Center, exit jet 777 out of 1,500 feet, climbing for 1,000.
Exec jet 777 Montreal identified, climb 13,000.
Climbing 13,000, exit jet 777.
He's gone. Exec jet 777, turn right. Right turn heading 190.
190, heading exit jet 777.
Get him turning the right way. Alright. Boston's not answering me, but I don't think this guy's talking to Boston, so we're going to get him to call me. Cook 69. Exec jet 777, continue the right turn, direct PSAC on course.
Direct PSAC, exit jet 777.
And some of these guys, I just talked to them like once for a whole flight, like an hour flight through my airspace. I talked to them once. Exec jet 777, continue climb, flight level 400.
Flight level 400 for exit jet 777.
Alright, that's it. Now I'm done talking to him. This departure was almost too easy. Alright, I'm going to give this guy a squawk code here. This guy's got a duplicate squawk somehow. Alright, we'll get him to squawk a new code because he is not...
Montreal Center, Cook 69 with you, flight level 400.
Cook 69 in Montreal, good day, squawk code 0374.
0374, Cook 69.
Should be this guy here, 1111. Cook 69, thank you. Identified flight level 400. Welcome. Now we really have nothing happening. We're just going to watch airplanes fly through our airspace. We're going to have one handoff to Boston here. And that's pretty much it. This guy's going to also leave our airspace in about 5 minutes. And that air bridge keeps on accidentally hitting his push to talk button. I don't know why, but he does. Yeah, so that's basically it. Now we got this guy airborne. Unless somebody logs in to take off, I'm not doing much for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Just watching airplanes rolling through the sky. But everyone's almost at a different altitude here. The only two airplanes I have that are at the same altitude are these two guys at 400, and they are on wildly diverging routes here, so I don't need to worry about them. I could just not be here, not say anything for the next 30 minutes. I could put down my headset and walk away for the next 30 minutes, and it probably would not have much of an impact, that's for sure.
Montreal Center, Canada 782, do you hear me well?
Air Canada 782, yes, I've got you 5x5.
Good, so we're gonna request for clearance to set hill.
Air Canada 782. Alright, stand by one moment. I'll be right back.
We standing by to 782.
Okay, Air Canada 782, you're cleared to Seattle via the Aloka 2 departure, and flight planned after Baie-Comeau direct Bubix flight plan route. Depart. Maintain. All right, let me try that again. I'm sorry. Air Canada 782, you're cleared to Seattle. The Aloka 2 departure. And then from Baie-Comeau, proceed direct Bubix. Squawk code is 0357. Your clearance is valid now. Cancel if not airborne by 1845 Zulu.
So we are clear to the Seattle Airport by Aloka 2 departure. After Baie-Comeau via warp to direct Bubix. Squawk is 0357, and if we are not set takeoff, the clearance is off at 1845 for Canada 782.
Air Canada 782, thank you. That readback is all correct. Let's see here, Montreal. I've still got the same 1710 corrected METAR I gave you before. No change. The altimeter is 3005. You can switch back to the local frequency for the departure advisory. Call me back on this frequency once you're airborne.
I'm gonna call you when we are airborne for Air Canada 782.
Speedbird 268, Heavy Montreal. You've left my airspace to the east. Gander's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Roger that, thank you. Switching over to Unicom now, 122 decimal 8 for Speedbird 268. Thanks for all service and good night.
Good night. Alright, and I'm trying to just sort of see here. Yeah, Baie-Comeau, then direct Bubix. Yep, okay. That works, that works. Maybe not the most efficient flight, but it works. This Cathay guy still has not answered me. I'm trying to get him to change his squawk code. Still has not answered me yet. Alright. Can I transfer this guy over to Boston Center? Yes, no, maybe so. There it goes. Michigan Air 88 Heavy Montreal. Contact Boston Center now, 134.7. G'day.
134.7, good day. Michigan Air.
So while I was kind of scrolling through and looking for solutions to my Euroscope problems, I noticed that there was an update from the VATSIM tech team regarding velocity and a number of issues that have appeared with velocity and different things that different things that have gone wrong in the last week since it released a case of airplanes floating in parking spots or rotating when they stop. So um, a lot of this has to do with the information that the pilot clients are getting from VATSIM and how they're processing it. Fortunately, right now there's 3 clients in the network, and everyone is really kind of actively developing and troubleshooting their clients. Of course, this really should have happened before the release, and this is kind of one of those things where until you really kind of got it out in front of the whole network, it was not there was not necessarily enough testing being done, I guess, for different things. One thing that does annoy me a little bit, perhaps, and that is that there's no flight plan filing from within the client. That's not necessarily a great thing because the client was a great way to sort of refile your flight plan when it gets lost after a long trip. That was one thing that I always made good use of. Whenever I logged in the network, the first thing I do is retrieve my flight plan to check the quality of the flight plan, make sure that the right flight plan was filed, but also to save that flight plan then within my client. The client would remember it, and even if I logged off the network for a period of time because I stepped away from the computer while I was flying, when I logged back in, I could quickly hit refile. And the flight plan would be there. I think that's a bit of an I think that's a little bit of an oversight. I think that's a poor decision that they're going to phase out the filing from within the client. Maybe we need to update the clients themselves, but the web-based filing is not necessarily a great answer because the second you try to go to that page and your login is timed out on VATSIM, all the information on that page disappears, and now you end up with a blank page again. So depending on where you got your flight plan filing information from, yeah, that could be a bit of a difficulty. I think that might need to be addressed. Because I find that that's often a difficulty that I run into, is that I end up with not having the old flight plan, especially if it was something that wasn't necessarily created like with flight planning software that I perhaps just filed just on my own. Like I'm just doing a flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator for FS Economy, and I just picked a couple of waypoints and I filed that flight plan, and then I walk away, and now I come back and I've been logged off the network, my flight plan's gone, and I have to go and put in all the information again. Like I think that's going to be a bit of a frustration for some people. I tend to use SimBrief to plan and kind of initially file the flight plan, but just to have it as a refile option, having it in the client was a really quick and easy way to do it. I think they're going to need to look at like ways of retrieving like your last 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 flight plans from the network before they can necessarily phase that out completely. I think that's a poorly thought through idea. And I may make my opinions known to the people, to the powers that be, because it's yeah. I think that's a little bit of a poorly thought through a little bit of a poorly thought through change. People make good use of it, and I mean maybe they have good reasons for wanting to do it, but still I think at the end of the day, lots of people use that in client. It's a quick and easy filer for if you're doing a very quick and easy flight plan. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think removing that is a bit of a mistake. I think there needs to be a better way of at least certainly saving your last flight plan and refiling your last flight plan then on the VATSIM software, because that otherwise if you get logged out and then you log back in, everything you have is gone. I don't know. I think they're going to need to have a way to store and save flight plans then, or at least the last 1 or 2 or 3. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's going to be, I think, a little bit of a problem. And it's going to be very hard for people to quickly refile a flight plan. And then it's going to create delays for ATC too, because when people log back in and they have to refile their flight plan, if they don't have their sim brief open, if their sim brief's logged off or whatever, they log on and then they've got nothing. I think it's a poorly conceived idea of removing the in-client flight planning windows, not without providing some kind of easy alternative to refile a flight plan that was already filed but just disappeared out of the system, timed out of the system. There really is just not much happening here, is there? Not my Air Canada here. That's about the only thing. He's probably airborne. Yeah, 1845. So he needs to be calling me up in the next 5 to 7 minutes here. He's going to get airborne, and pretty much once he gets airborne, we get him climbing to cruise. I think we're going to shut this down for the day because really we're not doing much. We're just sort of monitoring some aircraft in cruise. It's not a whole lot of excitement going on right there.
Montreal Center, Canada 782 at 1000. Proceed direct Aloka after Bécomo, after Bubix.
Air Canada 782 Montreal. Negative radar contact. I'll let you know when I see you. Climb 17,000.
Climbing 17,000 for Canada 782. You gonna call me for radar contact?
Air Canada 782, affirmative. When I see you on radar, I'll give you another call.
Roger, Air Canada 782.
Skyways 20 Heavy Montreal. You're about to leave my airspace to the east. Gander is not online. Switch the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Thanks very much. Going back to real life for a little bit, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Skyways 20.
Real life is overrated.
Absolutely.
I like that one. Back to real life. Yeah, I think it's about time for me to go back to real life, though. I have, I'll get this guy identified. Oh, Air Canada 782 has disappeared, which means he's probably just about to pop up on my radar here. If I get my low-level radar. Oh, there we go. Aha. Air Canada 782 Montreal, squawk ident.
We're squawking ident for Canada 782. Squawk ident for Canada 782.
Come on, show me the ident. Should see the ident, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it at this point. Air Canada 782 identified. Proceed direct Bubix on course.
Proceed direct Bubix on course.
Bubix. I'm not really sure how to say it. Sounds kind of dirty no matter what way I try to say it. Alright, well, like I said, at this point, really, nothing is happening. I don't see any departures coming up. Much as this world is kind of a fun alternative to the real world, I just don't see any conflicts. I don't see any real need for me to be here. I'm not going to be here long enough to watch this guy do his landing into Seattle anyways. I guess I could give him the Seattle weather anyways. Let's do that. Air Canada 782. I have the latest Seattle weather when you're ready to copy.
Ready to copy for Canada 782.
Air Canada 782, thanks the set deal weather at 1800 Zulu, so this was 40 minutes ago. Winds were showing 080 at 13. 10 miles visibility in light snow and drifting snow. Broken clouds 1,500. Overcast 2,200. Temperature -7. Dew point -9er. Altimeter 3017.
We copy all the information for Canada, so we need to.
Yeah, I think that's good enough for now.
For center, Canada thing, to just leave the copy for a couple of seconds and call you back.
Air Canada 782, sorry, I missed that. Say again?
Just leave the copy for 10 seconds, we'll be back.
Air Canada 782, I'm actually just going to be closing now, so you can go ahead and switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have yourself a good rest of the flight.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the good service. Hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. ExecJet 777, Montreal is closing now. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have yourself a good day.
Switch to Unicom, ExecJet 777, have a good day. Thank you.
Cook 69er, same for you. Switch to en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a great day.
Switching Unicom, thank you very much. You have a great day yourself. Cook 69.
Air Canada 837 Heavy, Montreal is closing. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a good rest of the day.
Roger, over to Unicom, thank you very much. Air Canada 837.
Airbridge 102 Heavy, Montreal is closing now. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good rest of your day.
Unicom 122.8, Airbridge Cargo 102. Thank you very much. Bye.
Take care. And Cathay and KLM. Switch to en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have a good day. And that's it. And for any aircraft still on frequency, Montreal Center is now closed. Switch to Unicom 122.8. 122.8. Pour toutes les avions, centre de Montréal est fermé. Attendez Unicom 122.8. Bonne journée. And that's it for me. I am going to be logging off there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, make sure you follow the channel there and follow me on YouTube as well. And, from flying untowered to untowered, but have flight following when I'm close to land, should I cancel my flight following? The answer is yes. You'll need to be on the local frequency for the arrival. So flight following 5 to 10 miles out. All right, Luke Aventino, he said he had silly question. If I'm flying untowered to untowered and have flight following, but when I'm close to land, should I cancel my flight following? Yes, you need to get the local frequency for the arrival, so you need to cancel flight following when you're 5 or 10 miles out from the field. The flight following is really, it's just an en route service. They may be able to tell you who's in the circuit, but they have no management of any kind of circuit pattern at an airport. So yeah, you will need to cancel the flight following so you can switch to the surveillance or to the local frequency. And chances are ATC will probably do the same thing as you approach. So, all right. Thank you for the question, Luke, and make sure you follow the channel. Catch me next time if you've got more questions. I'm always happy to answer, but I'm going to be heading out now for the day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll see you in the friendly VATSIM skies.